What is up, guys? We are back. I am George Mossey. This is my co-host, Heather C. I love a mama's boy. We're on season 3 all the way into episode 8. So this is part 2. There's a lot more to cover. And there has been an ongoing talk of a DNA test this season. It has happened. We have the results back. And unfortunately, the results have changed nothing. So as everyone knows, Nancy has questioned the paternity of Christy and Roberto's daughter, Kimberly, which Kimberly looks exactly like her mother, which a lot of children do. I looked exactly like my mother. So I'm not exactly sure why that situation has gotten to Nancy so bad, but we have learned that 99.999% accuracy that Roberto is the father of Kimberly. And this should have been amazing news for Nancy because this is her granddaughter. I mean, it's always been her granddaughter, but now she has proof that this is her granddaughter. And her reaction was so out of pocket. She said, well, I think maybe she faked the test, or she bought these results online, or maybe she swabbed the real father. It was just so out of pocket, crazy, conspiracy theorist. Everything about it was just wrong. And Christy is at the point where she doesn't know how much longer she can deal with this amount of disrespect, hate, animosity, and anguish in her relationship. And I kind of feel like she's right. Like, how far do you have to go to please an unpleasable person? Nothing is going to make Nancy happy except a divorce. And if that's not in the cards, Nancy might need to be the one that they remove from this situation.
I don't even think that Nancy ever thought that Kimberly wasn't her grandchild. I think she just, for whatever reason, doesn't like Christy and wants to make her life a living hell. Like, I really think that, because she didn't seem taken back by the results, like shocked or anything like that. And then she was trying to pull stuff out like, well, I need to hear it from Maury or something like that. And it's just like, it's so crazy. She knew what the results were going to be. She knew that that was going to be her grandchild. She just wanted to be messy. She wanted to give a reason to add fuel to the flames and make them fight. And getting a rise out of Christy, seeing her get upset, seeing her get mad, she's winning. But Christy has every right to feel that way, because even if she tries to be the bigger person and ignore her, she just keeps like inserting herself in there, and then she's rubbing off on Robert, and he's bringing that home because he should have never agreed to the paternity test in the first place, because he knew. It's just like, I've said it since day one. It was never fair to that baby. You know what I mean? Like, she should not have to feel that her grandmother, her father, anybody doubts her just because she doesn't look like her sister or brother, whoever. You know what I mean? Like, she looks like her mother, and that doesn't make her any less yours. You know what I mean? So I just think that it's so much deeper. They really need to get some type of like counseling. They need to figure out what the root of the evil is that causes her to not like her so much, because she's clearly not going anywhere. Right. So what are you supposed to do? Have a horrible relationship for the rest of eternity? Like, you're going to ruin your relationship with your son and your grandchild, all because of your feelings on this female that's not going anywhere. They really need help. They need help to save this family and this relationship.
I agree with you 110%. I think Robert and Christy need to sit down, have some counseling, and then when they're at a good place together, add Nancy into the mix and just be honest and have an open conversation. Nancy has never given us a reason on the show why she hates Christy so much. There's no substance to any of her reasons. So that's where they need to start. Figure out where this animosity comes from and just get to the bottom of it. Have an open conversation. Sometimes it feels better to just say how you feel instead of just trying to hurt people, because hurt people want to continue to hurt people. Get to the bottom of where that hurt is coming from. All right, so let's talk about Layla's return to the show. So, Layla has been absent from a lot of the episodes this season. To all of our disappointment, Layla is a huge part of this show, and we love her commentary. We love seeing her on the show. So she has come back, and she was invited by Emily to a dinner at Shakib and Emily's apartment, where Emily is going to cook some Middle Eastern food, which is Layla and Shakib's cultural dishes. And she's also going to throw in some dishes from her culture. And Layla feels that she won't make any promises, but she will make sure Emily tastes all the food to make sure she's not poisoning her. But we find out that Shakib's dad, Layla's husband, won't be able to make the dinner. So this is where Layla's plan comes into play. She has decided she will invite Yusra as her plus one to the dinner and make sure that she is inserting Yusra into the relationship in order to make her her future daughter-in-law. Now, I don't exactly know how this plan will work because inviting another woman to your son's apartment with his girlfriend for dinner, I don't know how that's going to eliminate Emily from the picture. But again, Layla said that her plan is a secret and we will have to watch and see how it plays out. So I want to see how she's going to play this because I don't see how just bringing someone else to a dinner is going to make them your daughter-in-law.
I mean, I think that it's a bad idea because she's going to feel ambushed in her own house. You know what I mean? Like, she clearly has strong feelings, and I love Layla, but everything she did to Emily was like just pure evil this season. Like, we already know that they clashed. We already know that Emily, she doesn't take things very well and she overreacts. We saw a interesting side of her last season. So I don't know. But like this one, like I feel like they've grown. I feel like they've, gotten to this better part of their relationship. And even Layla, like I feel like she kind of has taken things a little bit better, like Shakib has moved out and, she hasn't completely crumbled or fall apart. Like she's been okay. And but I don't know, like I think she's gonna be ruffling a lot of feathers. Like having Yusra come, first of all, it's bad for her because she's being used as this pawn. She's being used as this middleman to break up this relationship. And she just got done saying she's not a homewrecker, but that's what you're making her be. And she's going into this blindly because she's like, well, I love you and Shakib's your son and I want to support you guys, and she's trying to be the friend and do what is right to help Layla. And Layla's like turning it into this little evil plan, like, well, no, we're gonna use you as the pawn to marry my son and get Emily out the picture. And it's just like, uh when every time people meddle and they do stuff like that, it always backfires. And it's like, it's not fair to do that to people. It really isn't. To step in between somebody's friendship relationship, it's horrible. People need to figure things out for themselves. You can give them opinions, you can give them advice, but when you try to tell people what to do or you try to make things happen, it just never works. So this should be an interesting dinner.
It will be very interesting. And like you said, Yusra's becoming a punching bag once again. And I really worry about her because she wants, like you said, to be a good friend and be there for Layla because it's her mom and Layla were really good friends and she feels like she's part of their family. So I just don't want her to be a punching bag and be the one on the receiving end of the craziness of this dinner because we know Emily can lose her temper, like you said. So I hope things go well. And again, wow, it's just gonna be crazy. I'm excited to see the dinner. I'm not excited to see how bad it goes, but I want to see Layla's plan. I know Layla's a very smart woman, and she convinced Shakib to get married one time already to a woman that she loves. So she has her ways. So we're gonna see how that goes, and hopefully nobody gets hurt. All right, guys, that's it for part 2. Thank you so much for joining us. This is my co-host, Heather C. I'm George Mossey. Make sure you're live tweeting with us every Sunday night for the I Love a Mama's Boy episodes. It's right after 90 Day Fiancé. Thanks for joining us, and we'll talk to you all really soon.